All right, so I just finished One Piece chapter 1092. It was pretty solid, I think it was a really good chapter. I got a lot of character development out, set up some other things for the next chapter. All around, it was a really fun chapter. Let's get into it. Last chapter ended on the battle between Luffy versus Kizaru, the admiral, and I feel like that was like the big point of the last chapter. Now, in this new chapter 1092, it starts off as a flashback or one day before. And what happened the day before is we're seeing more of Kuma's rampage. So early on, a couple chapters back, we saw that Kuma was climbing up the, is it, I think it's not the Grand Line, the Red Line, to get to the place where the Celestials are. I can't pronounce the name right now, but the place where the Celestials are. I'll drop the name in the video. So he's on there having like a rampage looking for something. So then Akainu comes out. He's the fleet admiral, and like he's now trying to stop, Kuma, obviously, because like he's supposed to, the admirals, the Navy are supposed to protect the Celestials because they're like the highest order of beings, of people in this world. So he's supposed to protect them. He's fighting Kuma right now, and then he makes a statement saying he's just like a doll that's point, like without a soul. So why is he still, attacking? Like, what is he looking for? He's like, when you're looking through the after chapter, like this whole interaction, you see that Kuma's like, looking for something. Like he went there for a reason. He's trying to find something, So I think that's very cool. Like now that we're seeing, Kuma looking for something, like we still see that he's human. It's like if you know or watch the show, or read the manga, like he did experiments on himself or let people do experiments on him to make him into like this killer robot. And they even have like a flashback of Akainu talks to Bonnie, who's Kuma's daughter, saying like he gave himself to the government on his behalf, like he chose to do it. She didn't believe him, and she was also crying too because like she's just waiting for him to come. So what I think my little head theory is, or head canon, is like he probably went there looking for Bonnie. Like he still has that memory of he's just trying to find his daughter. That's why he might be like a soulless robot right now, but right now he has like this one goal, which is to like find his daughter. So that was going on. They had like a cool little exchange. Kind of actually like did a good hit on Kuma too, but then Kuma just disappeared. So that was like the one day before what's happening right now with Egg Island. So now we're in the present. Right now in the present, the Marines now defeated most of the mechanical sea beasts because of the Kuma robots, which were created, or the pacifistas, I should say. And then after they show that, like the admirals now making their way to the heart of Egghead Island, we then cut to Luffy and Kizaru continuing their fight. And right now, Luffy's in like gear 4 Snake Man, like throwing punches and whatnot, like having their exchange. And Kizaru mentions how Luffy actually did get stronger, And then Kizaru asks like, "Hey, why are you helping this guy? You're just a pirate." Thing, Luffy hits him with the, "Well, why are you trying to kill him? He didn't do anything wrong." But then Kizaru says, "Hey, it's my job right now. Like I gotta, take this guy out." So I think that's very cool. Then we also see other exchanges too, like Kizaru feeling bad for what he's doing right now. Because I think, with the admirals, they all have like represent different ways or different emotions when it comes to the government. Like Akainu, the lava guy, he represents like absoluteness when it comes to your job, like a Marine. I have to do this. And that's like his, moral code. While with Aokiji, one of the older admirals who then left, he was more like, hey, the government isn't fair. Let me leave and like do my own thing. And join up with pirates. Then we have Kizaru now, who's like, I know what I'm doing is wrong. I don't want to do it, but it's my job, so I have to do it. Then you also have Fujitora, who is another example of, Marines or government, morality, who's like, I joined the government so I can't change it because he knows it's bad, but he's trying to work inside the guidelines to change it. So you have to see like all these different personalities or moralities when it comes to like how they feel about their job, their position, and what they want to do. I really like how like in this chapter you like see Kizaru's like struggle of having to do his job even though he doesn't want to because these are his friends. Egghead is like one of his closest friends, he says, and stuff like that. My bad, I was like a little rant. Back to the chapter. So during this, Kizaru then dashes away. Luffy's confused. And then like he charged up like this light speed kick and then, hits Luffy out the way. It was like super cool. It was like a good charge up kick. He accelerated really fast. I liked it. And while doing this, he then blows up this robot. Then you flash back to Kizaru making a face, a sad face because like, this is a robot that Egghead wanted to build for the world and he had to show that, So again, just showing Kizaru and his feelings towards Egghead just showing like Egghead or Dr. Vegapunk is this man's best friend, but he has to kill him because it's his job. So I just like these little sprinkles that give him throughout the chapter showing, you know, his morality and situation. So while that is happening, you know, we then cut back to Egghead, and he finally, I'll just say Dr. Vegapunk, I'm sorry. But we come back to Dr. Vegapunk and the other Vegapunks, they finally cracked the code to get the dome down. But Kizaru disappeared, and he not reappeared right in front of them. He's about to finish a job, but then freaking Luffy appears in his Gear 5th mode, capturing Kizaru, saying he's not done or something like that, you know? So that's the chapter. I thought it was pretty cool. I think right now they really, I think in this chapter they really showed how strong the admirals are. With Kuma, you know, giving damage to Akainu giving damage to Kuma with his Hellhound. Then freaking Kizaru like practically not one-shotting Luffy, but like giving Luffy like a heavy hit, knock him practically far away, and him force him to like use Gear 5th. And then you see in the panel like him in Gear 5th, like literally after that one kick, he was like bloody tired, all that stuff. But this really just showed like how strong the Admirals are in this chapter. I feel like that was a really good point. I'm glad that Oda's finally showing the potential of the Admirals right now currently. Very nice. Again, rehashing what I said earlier, I really like how like they're showing in this chapter like Kizaru's connections, his feelings towards Dr. Vegapunk, and I want to do this, but he has to do it because it's his job, and that's very dope. Other than that, I'm very excited for this next chapter, what's going to happen now, because like now Luffy's in Gear 5th, his final mode. How's that going to fare up to the Admiral after what just happened earlier? Because like he practically one-shotted Gear 4th, to be honest. Like I think he's already like one-shotted Gear 4th. Like he knocked that guy pretty far away. He's messed up, and he was forced to use Gear 5th. So I'm excited to see like now after the one-shot, how's the power dynamic going to be between the two. So yeah, I think that's it for the chapter. You know, I think it's very, you know, good character development for Kizaru. Then also, you know, get to see more about Akainu, him being a fleet admiral, Kuma trying to find his daughter, all that good stuff. Oh, forgot one big part of the chapter. It actually ended on there was this mechanized knight in Dr. Vegapunk's lab that's been like asleep for hundreds of years, and it finally woke up after Luffy said something. Or that's the theory, like Luffy said something that woke up the robot because he's Joy Boy. So I forgot to add that little tidbit, but that's going to probably play into a huge role later because Dr. Vegapunk has been trying to wake up this robot for years but didn't figure out how to. And now it's finally waking up after like, I think it's 100 plus years, something like that. It's been a very long time. So yeah, I forgot that little tidbit information. But yeah, all around, really decent chapter. Just setting this up for the next, hopefully action-based chapter. And yeah, that's my little thoughts on this One Piece chapter 1092. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time.